So what I'm going to be doing is tapping this tree to collect the maple syrup. Oh, got a hawk.
What are we doing?
So here we are in the dark. We decided to come up here and try and collect what sap we could, because it's supposed to get back down to freezing again, or below freezing during the day. So this is supposed to hold 19 gallons. So it's very, very fun to watch, but get the idea.
It is spring in the Midwest, so we have potential severe weather headed our way. So Chet is done making his maple syrup. How much did we get? How much did we start with?
Happy New Year, happy Lunar New Year to everybody. It's February 17th, 2026. We have gotten a unusual thaw early in February, and the forecast for sugaring seems to have come early. So that is what I am going to be doing. I've done this in the past a little bit, but by no means am an expert. So what I'm going to be doing is tapping this tree to collect the maple syrup. So that way I can make maple syrup this year. Now I have in the past I have collected the sap and then used it to make tea. This year I actually want to try and make maple syrup. For those of you who've never done it before, they say you want a maple tree that's 10 inches in diameter or larger. You want to tap it on the south side of the tree and supposedly underneath a branch. And more to go. So I need to go get to another tree, find another tree. They say that you want to tap maple trees when during the day it's above freezing, and then at night it gets down below freezing. Last weekend it was up in the 50s. Originally the weather forecast looked like it was going to get cold again this week. However, the current forecast is all week it's supposed to continue to be better conditions for sugaring. So that is why I came up here to do this. Again, I am no expert. So far it does not. Like, I have tapped trees and had them instantly start dripping sap. So far that is not the case, but it's supposed to continue to be above freezing during the day. Hopefully that triggers something to start working. I will be back in a day or so to check on it. I'm gonna have to measure some of these trees because it looks like some of them have gotten big enough to carry on to a bigger operation here. More bigger operation. It looks like some of the trees are large enough now to tap, where when I did this a couple of years ago, they did not appear to be. There's very few trees. Try to situate the bucket so that it doesn't fall over. I have seen some other people with buckets already attached to trees or already sugaring. Forecast looks like you're gonna get another couple of good days. Usually it's about a week or two for sugaring, and then you don't get any. Alright, well, see, I'll be back up here in a couple days. Top of the hill. It's a couple days later. Looks like we are getting some sap. Drip. Drip. So it's starting to flow. And there ain't much in there. But we gotta start. That's somewhere. Down below the hill in that bucket, there ain't much going on in that one either. From past years, I've noticed that each tree do a little bit different depending on where it is and how it's being hit by sun and stuff. Oh, got a hawk. That was cool. Chased up a hawk. Okay, sounds like we're getting something. But again, not very much. So doing more research on it, it appears that the sap will flow all the way till the trees are starting to bud. Till it starts budding out. Not seeing much in there either, but it sounds like we got a little bit. Not enough to even start messing with.
What are we doing?
So here we are in the dark on Friday, the 7th
of February.
Yeah, it hit 50 some degrees today.
61, my car said, in Cudahy.
So we decided to come up here and try and collect what sap we could, because it's supposed to get back down to freezing again, or below freezing during the day, all weekend, possibly snow Saturday, Sunday. I don't know if it's supposed to snow both days or not.
I heard just Saturday.
Okay.
So we're headed up to the top of the hill?
Yep, we're gonna go to the top of the hill first.
Where all that wind is?
Yep, all that wind is.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. There's deer print. Do you have 3 or 4 buckets? And 1 down. Ow. I think there's more on top of the... And the ice puck.
Drip, drip.
Ooh. Nice ice puck in there. Yeah, you're gonna have to strain.
Yep. So this one's doing good.
Cover. It's like slush. I don't know that that's an ice puck.
There is an ice puck. Yeah.
Okay.
We are still dripping.
That is just on there. It's not pushed on there.
Oh man, since we're going down the hill.
Yep. That's what I figured. You would want that secure.
barely any on the lid even.
It's because the ice kept it down. So nice just on there. It's not secured.
Okay. So there we go. Almost 5 gallons.
I feel like there should be a lot more than that though.
Well, technically it was like one good day.
Yeah, but that's what the forecast said.
A little winded. It is Wednesday, March 4th. Left work a little early and came up here to check the buckets because Monday and Tuesday, well, Monday was supposed to be okay. Tuesday was supposed to be high yield day, and today was supposed to be a good yield day. So I'm up here checking the buckets for sap and gonna see what we get. Now, this is all based off of forecast put out there. That is in its infancy, I believe. I do not at the moment have the exact UL address or whatever it's called, but they are currently looking for people to help them with this and tell them what their yields have been. And this is pretty disappointing, but it is what it is. And that is what we got. I was hoping for a bit more. So I was up here last Friday. So this is from Friday all the way till now, till Wednesday. Ooh, here we go. Now we're talking. And yes, there is some stuff that I knocked in there from last time. From the hose rubbing on the bark of the tree. I will be using filters and such. When I make the syrup. That is about all I'm going to put in that one. There we go. At this point, which I haven't checked 2 other trees from Friday, and today I have 10 gallons of sap, which should make approximately 1 quart of syrup, depending on sugar content and how much the consistency I boil it down to. Ooh, that one, this feeling is pretty full as well. Okay, so about a little over half. So worried about tree bark getting in there. At this point, it will be filtered and boiled. A little over half. Right about there. So I will store these in a safe location. It's still getting down pretty cold at night, so I really won't have to worry about them spoiling. Right about now, it's guessing somewhere between 3% sugar and 6% sugar. No, 4%. 3 to 4% sugar. So it's mostly water. That's why it boils down so far. I don't know if I'm going to take that hill carrying everything. A little long way around. So anyway, it will keep. The temperatures are a bit above 40 during the day, but down below freezing at night, or pretty close to freezing. So not too worried about it. Looking at the bark on that tree, looks like something's chewing on it. And the last one. And let's see what we have in store for us here. A bit of water and about a quarter. Maybe. Almost full. I am not going to try and squeeze any more in there. So I'm going to call that one done as well. 15 gallons of sap. That should boil down to about 3 pints. Well, I will be up this week to check it again. I got 5 more containers. So if I have the best of luck, I should have enough to fill enough buckets to tap it or fill it again and continue to use the white buckets just to collect. So I guess to be continued. Stay tuned for what more else happens. All right, March 6th, back on top of the hill. It's Friday. Let's see if we got any more. I don't have super high hopes. The weather's been warm but during the day, but rainy and cloudy, and that's supposed to affect it too. But we'll see what we get. So there's a little bit in there. Basically, the plan is I'm going to try and start evaporating some of this down this weekend. I don't have so much sitting around. This has been the one that's been doing the best. There you go. This tree has been my performer. Again. I'll be straining this stuff out. Hopefully I'll remember to film that as well. And by no means am I an expert. Just a hobbyist. Okay, so we got about a little less than a quarter in here. Wednesday was 10 gallons up here. From Wednesday to Friday, we got about 5. Last bucket of check. It doesn't even feel like there's nothing in there. Okay, it's not like super stable, but it should do, I think. Got a fire going underneath, it's starting to heat up. Gonna pour in the first 5 gallons, see what happens. I will eventually put more and more in there, but right now I just want to get some in there to make sure it doesn't fall over. I am going to pour it in the top. I got to get a filter, so I'll be right back with that. So this is a grease filter or whatever. Across there. Okay, so the back tank holds about 5 gallons. Now, I'll open this up. I may have to throw a shim in there in the back or something because it wants to slide this forward. So this is supposed to hold 19 gallons. This isn't going to be very fun to watch, but get the idea how the process is going to go now. Fill the top, filtered, fill the bottom, let it evaporate out, and then continually fill and repeat till I'm out of sap and it finally cooks down into something usable. In the past, I have used the sap itself. I'd boil it down halfway and then just can it and use it for making tea or something to that effect. And it was pretty much perfect for the sweetness of tea that I like. But then again, I like a pretty unsweetened tea. I'm going to set up the canopy just in case it starts raining again. It's been raining off and on. Now there's a lot of smoke from the fire, but it is starting to steam. And I'm probably just gonna sit back, check out my phone, listen to some tunes, and do the whole, maybe I'll get another bucket and pour in pretty quick. I don't want to pour too much in at one time. I don't want to pour it all in. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a situation where I don't get it all done, where I have to sit here for 24 hours. I don't want to burn it by putting in too much fire. So a lot of this right now is just trial and error. Well, it's been a while. So you can see we're getting quite a bit of steam and got a good fire going underneath it. It's been a while, and we still got a bunch of sap left in the upper tank to drop down in there. It doesn't look like a whole lot is evaporated out from what I can see. Come over and let you see how we're doing here. Well, check back in a little bit later. Okay, we got a pretty good boil going on in here. I emptied out, so that's all 10 gallons, or the first 10 gallons in there. Brought down another 5-gallon thing. That way I can start heating up in that upper chamber. So I'm gonna pour that in. I think I'm gonna shed some light on the subject though. And it's got a big chunk of ice. So I don't know how well this is gonna go, but we'll find out. Pretty good chunk of ice in there. Leave this sitting by the fire so I can kind of warm up and melt. And that's what we got going on in there. Oh, we got a special guest here tonight.
So, do they not know what visibility is here?
Or are they running around with their headlights out again?
I think I was running around with my headlights on.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go see what mode that was that I was driving with my headlights on.
We hit a foggy patch, so I thought I turned my headlights on, and as I pulled out of A&W, I'm like, it is really dark. This is why I leave it on auto.
Right now I put some of the ice up in top, try and melt that through the filter. So I got ice up here melting into here, hopefully through the filter into the boiling chamber.
Which one do you want me to do first? The tilted one or the...
Tilted one, yes. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so now we gotta figure out, probably have to get four. Okay, we had to change our direction a little bit here.
It is spring in the Midwest, so we have potential severe weather headed our way.
So I guess kind of the plan is get it boiled down more, but let the fire run out-ish So we're going to, or we move the blocks, put it down onto the fire settle. Then what we're going to do is, I got 5 more gallons of unboiled stuff that I can add to it to cool it down. And then we'll end up pouring it back into buckets and taking it home and finishing the process at our leisure-ish. We've been boiling for a while, and this process takes a bit.
Who's doing what here?
So I am going to grab the pot, pan, whatever, tub, evaporator thing, put it on here.
You're going to do it alone.
Well, if you want to grab that side, that's fine.
I don't know
The
where to
upper
grab
side.
it.
So there's a lip on the inside here, both sides.
Yep.
I'm probably going to leave my side a little bit lower, and if you tip it towards, it'd be your right, then more shit will pour out, which is fine. So go ahead and lift.
Yeah, you think I can?
Alright, we need to scoot it this way a little bit.
I didn't see anything because all I see is this big wave of.
Steam.
Yep.
I'm trying to get enough room here to. There we go. Now I think I should just pour the other the bucket in here. That way it just cools it all. And then back in.
Head it up first. I don't like being up here like this.
Don't do that. See, when your truck got all sticky.
Wow, there's not much.
This one's budding out already. Pulling it.
Okay. I will take the empty one. Uh-huh. Are you gonna stop and fill the other one a bit?
This one has been the star tree.
Yeah? That's where you've got most of your sap? There, it is not on at all in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, that looks like it's budding out too. You know what? I'm done.
Yeah? You're not leaving anything anymore? Okay, I will grab that one.
Pretty much full.
Do you want it all in that one bucket, or are you going to share some with this?
Probably spread it out more evenly.
Okay.
Looks like it's going to be a couple trips downhill.
Yep. Oh, we're doing it the short way? Alright. Live dangerously. Yeah, I can see the mark. The skid mark. Screet.
See the trees budded out there.
Oh, yeah, sure. Poison ivy.
We might be able to get it into all the other buckets.
It's just asking. So if you stop there, can you split it half and half in the other ones?
So we're looking at about another 15 gallons. When I boiled it at home, outside, it went pretty quick, I think, compared. So if I can get it boiled down again. Anyway, so from the evaporator, filtered into the large pot. Then from the large pot, I filtered into the small pot. So now that's what I'm doing. I'm boiling from the small pot and evaporating down to...
And this is the second batch.
This is the second batch, yes.
What did you get out of the first batch?
First batch, I got almost a half gallon.
And what did you
syrup.
start with? How much sap?
20 gallons?
And we didn't do any filming of that first downsizing the batch.
No, we did not. Because I was just getting it done. And it was like in between work and everything else that was going on in the world. So it was just hurry up and do it while I can. But it was the same process. Came home with what I had, evaporated it down outside in the evaporator the big large evaporator, then from the smaller batches into this pot, and then like when it gets down to a certain, I had it down to like 2 and a half gallons I think, and then I boiled from there down into this.
Second batch boiling down. What do we have to do now?
So now I got to monitor the temperature pretty closely. As the sugar content raises because the water level is dropping, the boiling point raises. So at about 219 degrees is when it is technically sapped. That's one of the older ways of doing it. I guess there's a way of like dragging because it is, if you look in here you can kind of see a skim forming, but it's boiling really hard. But anyway, there's a way of dragging a spoon across it or putting it onto a cold plate and testing it as the thickness. So that's one way of doing it, the old way. But temperature and using a hydrometer, and most people currently are saying the hydrometer is the best way of getting it to the most optimal. So I was doing both, or gonna do both. I'll get it close to 219 degrees and then check with the hydrometer, and using the brick scale on the hydrometer go for, because I'm doing it hot, so it'll be like 60 or 66. 60. Well, 60 something. Wherever that red line is, that's where you're supposed to be on the brick scale.
That's not 60 because if 55 is here, that would be 59.
Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be. That red line at temperature. If you're doing it cold, it'll be this red line down here, cold.
67.
Okay, so the hydrometer is right at the line there. So we have syrup. So now, without making too much more of a mess than I've already made doing this several times, we will start the canning process, or jarring. I got the lids in hot water so that the rubber softens. Jars sterilizing in the oven at the moment. And you got a mess to clean up. Already cleaned some of it up already, but
High tech.
all right. And I need.
You're creating a good scene.
Yes, I am wiping the. As you can see, I got sap all over that, so. And being that I'm not like water bath canning or anything like that. I'm just using its own heat from boiling. Getting the lid fairly tight.
Hand tight?
Hand tight, because it's hot as fuck. And then it's basically a repeat until you get all of it jarred up.
So, Chet is done making his maple syrup. How much did we get? How much did we start with?
We started, well, totally, or this batch?
This batch.
15 gallons of sap.
And we ended up with 13.
Well, there's that little bit in there.
Oh, that's part of it as well.
Yeah, and then I added a little bit to the other stuff, my mixture of things.
Of everything.
Yeah.
And this is the first batch.
Yeah.
And that's the color that it came out.
Yeah, well, I got most of it's in little jars of the first batch. Also.
But that is significantly lighter.
Oh yeah, it is.
So as comparison,